What up, guys? Alchemist, I got something nice for you. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Y'all seen the title. I believe in-game loot needs to be buffed. Okay? It's in-game loot, meaning it should be exclusive loot that makes you want to chase after them. You know, once you get that loot, it's strong for you to play other activities in the game. It feels special. And I truly feel like raid loot does not feel special. Besides the SMG, what it's called, antidote. What other weapon do you chase after in Desert Perpetual Raid? Think about it. Think about it. You can say some of the weapons in there feel good, but what weapon in there is meta defining? Antidote, everybody want it because you can get target lock on there to help you get your super back quick, so it's good for DPS, especially if you're a Titan with peacekeepers and whatnot. But other than that, there's no weapon inside Desert Perpetual that you need, that everybody's bragging about like it's part of PvE meta. There's nothing strong in there. Everything is like mid, very mid, right? And this in-game content, why is that? When you go back to like Salvation's Edge or Crota's End, they had unique perks on them that made them stand out, that made you have to sought after them, right? But one thing Bungie does that I don't like is they throw the exclusive perks from them raids on the weapons in there. They throw them on other weapons. Why do Yurtai Apex got Chaos Reshaped on it? This perk was specifically for the weapons inside Salvation's Edge, right? That's what made the weapon unique. That's why you wanted to go in there and chase after those weapons, because this perk itself was busted, okay? Or if you got like the bow in there that's unique, that got vote shot, with the first bow to get vote shot on it, made it unique, right? Bungie, why do y'all make exclusive perks on raid weapons and then apply them to weapons outside the raid that end up being better than the raid weapon itself? Yurtai is one of the most meta defining weapons everybody use in PvE right now, and it was from a Solstice event. Was easy to get, no in-game content, best SMG in the game. Why Chaos Reshape should have never been on this weapon. It should have been a raid exclusive perk to make people want to play that raid and chase after that loot. You get what I'm saying? And the same thing with just weapons in general. The best weapon in the game right now is Mint Retrograde. And all you gotta do is play Pinnacle Ops to get it. Simple. Easy content. Mint Retrograde, this type of weapon is a weapon that should have been in raid. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's how strong and powerful Mint Retrograde is. This weapon should have been in the raid. This weapon so strong, it could have been the raid exotic. I'm gonna be honest with you. Besides, instead of that whirling ovation crap rocket launcher, this could have been the raid exotic. That's how strong it is. Why is this weapon so easy to get and meta defining, but then every other weapon inside the raid no one cares for and is not meta? We got a rocket launcher, Hyliatus, that is literally, I don't even know if I got one on me, some other character, but literally is PvE meta right now. Bungie is nerfing it in Renegade, so you can't use it to get your energy back, whatever, but it was going well with Brave Tech Logic Origin trait with the cluster bomb, so you spam your abilities to do more damage. That was the best rocket launcher that you get from a regular activity in the portal. The rocket launcher in Raid, no one cares about. So like, why is it that the best weapons in the game are not a part of in-game content? The crossbow was the only unique thing inside Desert Perpetual because it was the only place you can get a crossbow from. It was busted until Bungie nerfed it when it was working with Temporal Blast and stuff. But when it first came out, people wanted to do raids to chase after this weapon because it was the strongest DPS weapon in the game. Now that Bungie nerfed it and stuff, no one cares for it. And Bungie made a stasis crossbow that everybody can get that literally is way better than the raid crossbow. Make it make sense. Easy to get, not a part of in-game content. Why are the best weapons in the meta from content that's not in-game? The raid armor. If we go to the raid armor in the collection, right? If we go to the raid armor, why is it that, it's on the last page, yep. Why is it that the raid armor is not a part of in-game meta? Don't get me wrong, the fourth piece on this armor is decent, making that strand debuff stay on longer and solar buff stay on longer. That's actually sound dope, right? Why is it that the epic raid armor is god-awful trash? No one uses this. After dealing damage or super, health and shields regenerate over time while you are in motion? Really? Really, Bungie? Epic raid, the hardest in-game content in the game right now. And you give us trash armor like this? Just for the best armor in the game, Smoke Jumper, is literally fire team, solo ops, boom, you get the armor. 2-piece, not even 4-piece, 2-piece. When you pick up orb power, you gain freaking damage resistance for 2-3 seconds, whatever. And you can easily pick up orbs to keep refreshing it. Why is Smoke Jumper set the best armor set in the game right now? Literally easy, play the portal, and you get it. The in-game weapons and armor are very mid and dry, but the weapons in the portal are meta-defining, best in PvE. Make it make sense. So my first critique would be, Bungie, if you're going to make exclusive perks for the raid, like Chaos Reshape that came out on the weapons exclusively inside Salvation's Edge raid, if you're going to come out perks like these perks should stay only on those weapons to give people a reason to chase after that loot inside that raid, and to incentivize people to play that raid, to try to find people to get in that raid, try to LFG. Even if they only beat one encounter, at least they know if they get a piece of loot from that raid, it's amazing because it's strong. We got to stop this whole letting other weapons get those exclusive perks. Same thing inside freaking Crota's end raid. I believe it's called Sword Logic is the name of the perk. When it first came out, that perk was amazing. It got power creep now, but why did y'all start putting on other weapons outside of that raid? Literally, lore-wise, it doesn't make sense. It's called Sword Logic. It should be on Crota weapons. It's Sword Logic. Lore-wise, it doesn't make sense it's on other weapons. It doesn't make sense. So, the only raid that I know recently that Bungie made it meta-defining was when they brought Vault of Glass weapons back and they gave them an origin trait. Hezin Vengeance was literally meta because of the origin trait. That's the type of juiced up we need from raid weapons, raid loot, okay? Everybody was chasing after the goddamn raid Vault of Glass loot because of that origin trait on its own. I don't know what y'all doing right now. I have nothing. I played Desert Perpetual multiple times, and there's not one weapon I use from Desert Perpetual outside of Antidate. Not one weapon in there that I use. Raid need help. Even the raid exotic that dropped needs help. I know some people saying you can use it for damage rotations, but I might as well just use Finale Augur. I'll be honest with you. Now, dungeons. I think dungeons in a perfect spot. You think of Vesper Host, what weapons you think of? Velocity Baton, which was like literally one of the first weapons to get Attrition Orb and Demolition together, and it was printing orbs like crazy with the Attrition Orb before Bungie nerfed it. Everybody was chasing out the Velocity Baton. Chill Inhibitor was a grenade launcher, was literally the highest DPS grenade launcher during that time for DPS. And what happened? Weight gate happened with the people figuring out that loot wasn't dropping in there like you're supposed to, but everybody figured that out because they heard how cracked freaking Chill Inhibitor was for DPS. So everybody went to chase after this goddamn gun. Now, of course, Bungie gave everybody the God roll once they figured out the weight gate situation. So everybody got the God roll of this gun. But during that time, everybody wanted this gun. The grenade launcher was broken, meta defining from Vesper Host. Velocity Baton was, the fusion rifle was good, and the auto rifle was good. All the weapons was good. Then we fast forward to Sundering Doctrine. Sundering Doctrine origin trait made the weapons so good that literally everybody was chasing out of them, especially Unsworn. First of all, the origin trait made it that weak targets, you automatically had explosive shots on your weapon when it was a weak target, and if you shoot a strong target, it made them lose, it exhausted them, making them do less damage. Okay, perfect goddamn origin trait for the weapon. So this perk alone made people chase after weapons from Sundered Doctrine. But also too, Unsworn, if I remember correctly, was the first weapon to get the perk Detonator Beam on a trace rifle, which made this gun busted. What do Bungie do? Let's put Detonator Beam on other trace rifles outside of the dungeon. Like, why? But during that time, dungeon weapons, Unsworn and stuff, the dungeon, the Unloved and all the stuff, these weapons was busted in Sundered Doctrine. So Vesper Host did a good job, Sundered Doctrine did a good job. I'm hoping that the dungeon that's finna come out does an amazing job as well. I'm not really worried about dungeon loot. Only thing I worry about dungeon loot, I hope the armor is good in dungeon. The weapons, they tend to be decent in meta defining in PvE. They tend to be good. But armor, based on how Bungie been doing passive traits on armor so far, the only great one so far has been Smoke Jumper, and it's outside of in-game content. So Bungie, please, I'm praying that the goddamn armor inside the dungeon coming out in a few weeks, 2 weeks I believe, is broken. It deserves to be in-game content worthy to make people want to go in there and farm and get the best loot. So I'm praying that it's good. Trials is in a good state. We got the spread hand cannon in there that was great in PvP. Immortal, Igneous Hammer. Trials, they tend to do a good job when it comes to their in-game loot. They tend to do a good job. Even the Trials armor is passive traded decent as well, right? So Trials in a good spot. Grandmaster Conquest, there's nothing in there. For it to be the hardest content in the game for PvE, up there with Raid, it's no exclusive loot in there at all. Just god awful. And I hope when Bungie bring back weekly Grandmasters, whatever, next week, that we get some type of unique weapons in there that makes it, that equates to the goddamn, you know, uniqueness of in-game content. Now, I don't know if Bungie is scared to do this because of casual players in the game, but Bungie, you gotta show love to both sides of the game. You can't be afraid that casual players are gonna cry about not being able to get these meta-defining weapons. It's their job to get better at the game, to get better loot. When you get better skill set in the game, you're able to acquire better loot from being better at the game. This gives you time to learn more about the game, influence your gameplay more. You get more invested and more immersed into the game. Okay, you can't be scared to give this type of loot because a casual player may whine about not being able to get it. It's their job to get better at the game. It's not your job to worry about that. Okay, it's their job to learn and improve. Okay, we need this type of loot in the game for the gamers, the people that do invest time in this game and do have a skill set. You can't expect us to do hard in-game content and don't get rewarded for the in-game content. You can't expect us to just be happy for the experience of just enjoying a raid. We need some loot that we can walk away from the raid or dungeon where it makes us feel like, yeah, this was worth doing. This is amazing. I just walked away with something great. That's like playing an RPG and you beat a secret boss, in-game secret boss that you knew you had to try hard on. I'm talking about you had to get the best stats on your characters and everything, and you walk away with a stick. No, in RPG, when you beat a secret boss, they give you something broken, something like whether they make you resist all damage types in the game, or oh, you got infinite MP/SP in the game to spam your abilities, or you got infinite health now. You put this on. It's usually something broken for you putting in that hard work to beat this in-game boss, right? Destiny, for us to be having epic raid feasts that we can throw on raids to make them even harder and stuff, contest mode and stuff in the game, for us to have all these hard difficulty in-game content stuff, we sure don't be having nothing to show for it besides a goddamn emblem. Bungie, buff up these goddamn weapons in in-game content. It's a dang shame that the best weapons are in the game are not behind any type of skill ceiling. It's just play the goddamn portal. Mint Retrograde, best weapon in the game. Yurtai, best weapon in the game. Freaking this crossbow, very good. Not best weapon in the game, but very good. Like, it's ridiculous, okay? So, let me know y'all what y'all think. Comment down below. I strongly believe raid loot and stuff need to be buffed up to feel unique. I believe if there's a unique perk on weapons inside the raid, they should stay on those weapons. It should not be, oh, future weapons that come out, we can throw this perk on that gun now. Like, no, it should be special to that raid to give me a reason to go inside that raid to play it. You know, even if you don't want to do exclusive perks, it can be a very broken origin trait to make people want to chase after that weapon. Same thing to armor. The armor should be better. It shouldn't be that smoke jumper the best armor in the game compared to in-game content. And before people try to say, you just trying to gatekeep and feel special. I'm not gatekeeping. Just get better at the game, bro. This is not even an elitist take. Every video game has a skill ceiling, and if you beat that skill ceiling, you get rewarded for it. And if you're doing something as difficult as in-game content in this game, you should be rewarded for it. You should be rewarded some type of loot from it because it's a looting shooter. Someone should not waste their time of 45 minutes playing a dungeon or a raid or whatever, I should say, not dungeon, a raid. They shouldn't waste that much time in their life playing the game and don't get rewarded for accomplishing something big as beating a raid, okay? I think everybody here can agree raid is a difficult content. Of course, once you get used to it, it's easy, but like, based on the percentages, a lot of people can't beat a raid. So for people that are able to beat it, they should be rewarded for that. And before someone try to make the argument, but the rich get richer. You should get rich. A rich should get richer. If they put in skill sets to show off, to showcase their skill, they should get rewarded for their skill at the game. It shouldn't be they have to not get rewarded to make others feel better. That just doesn't make sense. That's like real life. If someone was a freaking pop star, a celebrity, it shouldn't be they shouldn't get praised for being good at their craftsmanship because it gonna make others feel bad about themselves. No, they earned it. They worked hard. And if someone in the game completes a raid or something, they deserve to be rewarded for working hard. It shouldn't be, oh, to make the other people not feel bad about themselves, let's water it down. No, the other people should raise up. It shouldn't be we limit the ceiling because people don't want to raise their cap. No, the ceiling should stay up and people gotta reach that ceiling, not lower the ceiling and have people and have players above that ceiling and not get rewarded for being above that ceiling. That makes no sense. And that's the same thing with the Call to Arm event. There was plenty of players that was like, y'all gamers / tryhards, y'all gotta stop making this y'all score so high because we can't keep up. How is that gamer's fault? That's your fault. Try to get better at the game. And if you can't hop on the game for hours and stuff, then that's just the results, bro. That's just the result. Don't get mad and try to make the game change to your standards. That just is what it is. Just accept that as a fact. That's it. You know, like telling other people to stop shining because you can't shine as bright is crazy to me. It comes off as bitter. It comes off as entitled. It comes off as just sad. Just sad. Like, let people be great and let people get rewarded for being great. Okay, but let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below, because I truly believe raid gear need to be memorable. Same thing with dungeon and stuff as well. The loot need to be memorable to give players a reason to play in-game content. Because as of right now, a regular gamer, they do not need to play raid in the game. They literally get the best loot from the portal. Oh, what's the best armor in the game? Smoke jumper. Oh, I can just play the portal for that. What's the best weapon in the game? Oh, mint retrograde. Oh, I can go get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little too watered down. It's too watered down, and the best loot in the game shall always be behind in-game content. Now, do I believe mint retrograde shouldn't exist? No. Mint retrograde can still be in the portal. But if you're gonna make mint retrograde this strong, this should have been another rocket pulse rifle in the raid that is a little bit stronger than mint retrograde. It don't have to be a big gap between them, but it should be a good enough gap to make someone say, I need to play raid and get the other rocket pulse rifle because it's stronger than mint retrograde. So then casual players still got something that they can be proud of having that's still strong for them to use in content, while gamers, they still got something stronger to achieve and get rewarded for their skill. And if anybody say that's still gatekeeping, if you're a casual player, you don't need the best loot in the game because you're not playing the in-game content. You have no reason to want the best loot in the game or need the best loot in the game because you're not playing the in-game content. So why do it matter to you? You just complain, just complain. But yeah, I'm done. I'm done yapping. Enjoy y'all Thanksgiving. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys always. Let me know your opinions down below, like as usual. I'll talk to you guys. And until next time, stay up.